Welcome back to Restore Thrive. I'm with the lovely Dr. Jess, and we are going to talk to you today about, what are we talking about?
The hip spin up.
Hip spin up, which is a morning routine.
This is Tim's thing, not my thing.
That I always do, and then I make Jess do later in the day. So the whole idea here is what we're trying to do is get your body ready for the day or for the training that you're about to get into. So even though we're going to talk about this in the context of a morning routine, this can also be a great way to quickly get yourself ready for any sort of athletic activity or thing you may do around the house that requires you to use your lower body, which is most things.
Yep.
So we've got a mat out here, and we've got a pad to
Why don't you get
use.
the nice soft pad?
You can use that if you want. Let's switch. So I know you're a delicate flower. So what we're going to do is hop down into a half kneel position here. So we're going to start right foot forward, your other right.
All right.
And what we're going to think about at first is with this right foot, keeping this foot connected to the ground, and specifically your big toe. So we want to make sure that big toe stays pressed down. You keep some weight through your heel. And then all we're going to do is put that right hand down on the foot, keep your arm inside. And we're really just focused on the front leg here. I don't care what your back leg does. You can have your toes pulled up. You can have your foot flat. And we're just going to start to wobble around a little bit side to side or a little bit front to back. And all we're trying to do is get some input into the hip here. And pay attention to our breathing. And as we go through these positions, what's most important is making sure that you can maintain normal breath control as you're getting through these shapes. We never want to get to a spot where we stop breathing just to find that motion. So once we've spent about 30 seconds in this position, which we're getting close, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
You keeping track?
Yep.
Okay. We're going to turn towards our front leg, and we're going to hug our knee to our chest. And now we're going to get real intentional about ventilating. So we're going to take a big breath in. Exhale. Big breath in. Exhale. Toe still on the ground?
Yep.
Good. That's 3 breaths. I'd say that's a good minimum effective dose if you've got time. Maybe get 2 or 3 more. And now what we're going to do is go the other way. So we're going to take both of our hands. We're going to walk our hands out to the left. And if I'm trying to get that right hip open, my right arm's going to be the driver. So reach out with that right arm as far as you can. You want to think about your hand, right hand and your right knee getting as far away from each other as possible, like they're breaking up. Take a big breath in, and then exhale. And you should feel this through your right side. Breathe in through your right side. Exhale. Jess is getting very quiet.
I don't like this.
Are you still with us? Are you still with us?
Dr. Jess is very tight through my adductors, so that is the primary spot.
Give your adductors some love.
For sure.
Say hello.
I'm still breathing.
How have you been?
Not bad.
Okay, now we're going to come back to the middle. We're going to take our left elbow and try to work it down towards the floor. So here's an important point when you're going through the spin up. Everybody's mobility is going to be a little bit different. So we're always working towards these shapes. And this is a good reaction because we find that people do one of 2 things when they do this hip spin up. They either laugh or cry. So it's good that we've got her laughing. We know we're in the right spot if she starts laughing.
Elbow on the ground. A little much.
What about 2 elbows on the ground? No?
So this is my modification. Tim can get 2 elbows down. It's all good.
Can you breathe?
Yep.
Inhale, exhale. That's a short exhale and a short inhale. It's just you and me, babe. You and me. Okay, after about 30 seconds there, we're going to come back up onto our hands, and now we're going to take a little pressure off the front of the hip. We're going to take that foot and roll out to that edge of the foot, and that's going to shift where we feel this through our hip. So right here, we can play with position. Now, the more I get my foot to the middle or midline of my body, the more I'm going to feel that, versus the farther out I go, a little more breathing room that I have for my hip. So everybody's going to be a little different here. Jess Jess is a little wider, I'm a little bit narrower. We're gonna start in the middle again, and you can see Jess is already wobbling a little bit, just getting comfortable in the shape. And then we're gonna walk our hands over to the right. We don't need to grab our knee, but we're gonna change the vector a little bit. And that's gonna change where you feel this in your hip. Take a couple breaths in and out. It's so good. Can you feel it?
That's terrible.
It's so good. Are you still breathing?
I'm still breathing.
I can't hear you. You
Take
should
a
be able
break.
to hear.
Taking a break.
You should be able to hear your super friend, your loved one, a cherished pet, whoever you have doing this with you.
Coco would love this.
Okay? And now we're going to go the other way. Really open up those adductors. Reach with that right arm. Breathe through that right side. Yes. Remember, your tissues are obedient dogs. As long as you can breathe, they will do as you command. Okay, back to the middle. See if we can get that elbow down. Oh, look at that. Look at that.
That's awful.
So, that's what we call tissue creep. The longer you keep your joints, your tissues in a position, the more they open up. It's like magic, except it's not. Okay, then we're going to come out there, get that foot back in line with the knee, get that big toe down. Now we're going to do what we call some lunge lockouts. So I'm going to have my left hand down on the ground. I can put my right hand up on top of my thigh. I'm going to lift my back knee up. And what I'm going to focus on doing is trying to squeeze my back quad, squeeze my glute, push my knee and my thigh and my hip down towards the floor, and lift my chest and my head as I get there. Spin just a second there. Come back up, take a breath in, and then exhale as you push it out. So we really like this for our runners and our field athletes, because this is the stride position. End range hip extension. We want to stay active in this position. So we're going to get 15 here. And just in and out of that shape. Make sure that back foot stays straight. Make sure you stay active through that back leg. Getting better. Getting better.
Next.
And then the last one, we're going to work on neural mobility, because this is the piece that everybody misses. So you're going to put both hands down on the ground, one on each side of the foot. If this feels tight for you, you can take one hand and put it up on your thigh. What we're going to try to do is get that front leg straight. So we're going to lift the toes off the ground, try to squeeze the quad, get the knee straight. Some people need to get a little higher when they're in this position. Now the other piece of this is look how much Jess is bent forward. Her head's down, her back is rounded. That actually makes her tighter because she's pulling on her nervous system from up top. So if you feel tight here, get a little bit taller and work in and out of that position. And as you get more flexible, you can bring that head down and that chest down when you get that knee locked out. But remember, you're not just stretching muscle here, you're actually getting that sciatic nerve gliding through that meat tunnel in the back of your leg.
And it all goes together as far as hamstrings and nervous system, but my hamstrings are very tight. So
The
when I
ability
get way
to,
down here and try and stretch back, I don't look like Tim.
where's
so.
your quads? Where's your quads? Your
Not
quads should be firing.
Not
You
happening.
need to have a conversation with them.
Mm-hmm.
So 15 reps, and then when you're gonna flip and do the same thing on the other side, and what you should notice after you get through that is doing something like getting into a deep squat feels a lot easier on both sides. We recommend that you get 3 to 4 minutes on each side. Take your time, breathe through these shapes. If you guys have comments, leave them below. Or if you have more questions about how to open up your lower body and improve your lower body performance, find us at RestoreThrive.com.